We have been living in interesting times, and I think last 1 year, if any indication, was about the rapid changes that happen in the retail landscape. A lot of things changed, but everything changes around the way our customer shops and the way our customer behaves. We have seen the emergence of e-commerce, we have seen the surge in online, but what is constant is the changing behavior of the customer. And that's the theme that we will be discussing today in our webinar. Before we get into that discussion, let me pull up a study that Zebra Technologies did, a shopper study in 2021 at the beginning of the year, and some interesting statistics that came out of it. So if you look at the statistics that are presented on the screen, what's interesting is to look at how the customers are leveraging both the channels, which is online and in-store, in terms of looking at either product selection, price availability, product availability, and look at where they are craving for convenience. And a majority of them want to get in and out as quickly as possible. They prefer shopping with online retailers who also have brick and mortar for their convenience, and where retailers can facilitate easy returns. And all of these have to be enabled and fast-tracked with the help of technologies. The new age requirements in winning omni-channel, right? And how can Dubai Commerce City facilitate that? Your views, please.
Yeah, well, look, following on from what I've just said, I strongly believe it's all about personalizing the customer experience and maintaining the same experience through every touch point. You know, customers engage with the brand, not with the channel, where the brand is present. And this is why personalized, consistent experience delivered by every channel will define the true omni-channel capability. If your in-store experience, for instance, is superior, but your brand fails to delight customers during the digital interactions, you are not winning at all fronts. Now, there are two game changers I see where retailers will win in the omnichannel space. First one is around retail staff will recognize their customers as they enter the store. And this will be through facial recognition or customer logins or geofencing through the mobile app. This will alert staff to their VIP or high spending customers that they've arrived in store, so they can then ensure that they receive a consistently good experience. And then the second area where I see game changers is around, again, coming back to personalization, personalized offers being sent direct to the customer's mobile upon arrival. I think here, customer purchase and behavioral data will be mined to deliver highly relevant offers and coupons that should drive higher conversions and higher spends from each of their customers in store. Now, at Dubai Commerce City, our philosophy is to offer all our clients a complete e-commerce and omni-channel solution in a box. We are the enablers. We complete the entire business cycle setup for an e-commerce businesses and omni-channel retailers with all the value-added services that these businesses would require. As for instance, e-commerce and omni-channel strategy development, to online store setup, to web store management, to online trading and merchandising, warehouse logistics and last mile, to performance marketing and localization strategies. I think you can say Dubai Commerce City is your full service e-commerce and omni-channel partner, and you can outsource your digital commerce to us.
Thank you, Devir. All the best to you as you offer these services to the customers in the region. I think I'll just pick up the clue of personalization from your concluding remarks and then direct my next question to Dini at Titan. Dini, customer demography, right, with the online surge. So from local to regional to international, your views on those trends, please.
Thanks, Josefa. Demographics has been interesting. And the one thing that we are seeing is post-COVID, across all age groups, more people have come online. But the one definitive trend is people who are reluctant online buyers, let's say older people, segments that didn't really come online. Some of the, in certain parts of India, let's say rural areas, while some parts of India did shop online even before. So everybody who wasn't online earlier has started coming online. Another interesting aspect here is in most cases, there's a threshold point in most categories above which people hesitate to buy online. They prefer to come to a store and see the product. So typically, in different categories that ranges. Now, those thresholds have started to increase. And again, as you go up the age group, the middle age groups were the ones who had the buying power and who were relatively comfortable online. But again, as you go down to a younger demographic, they were earlier not buying products above a certain price point online. They've now started to do that. So this is one aspect. Another interesting sort of sidelight that we've seen is that traditionally the Indian diaspora, when they return back to India, they used to shop for jewelry in India for products that are not available in their home markets, right? US consumers returning to India, especially in the November, December, January months, shop much more. Now we are seeing they've not been able to travel. So because travel has reduced, that demographic is buying much more online because what they had to earlier buy from a particular country, they're now resorting to buying that online. So these are some of the shifts that we are seeing. Interestingly, in Dubai, we are seeing more of a segment emerging, which is the self-purchasing woman. Earlier, they had, so again, that is a category that was very comfortable purchasing online. We are seeing a clear surge in their numbers, buying more products, and not necessarily being gifted products, but buying for themselves, celebrating their occasions. Maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's the birth of a child, but many more of them are looking online. So again, I think the moral of the story is that how do you identify these segments that have a higher propensity to buy online? How do you then create situations and the ability to showcase your products well to them and understand what might be the sticking points that each of these demographics have, because some of them have different friction elements in the whole purchase sequence. And how can you eliminate that friction to make the whole online and physical experience great for them? So that's our take on that, Josefa.
Dini, thank you. An interesting point that I did make a note, which you did mention, is the profile of the elderly people, right? Who wouldn't have had the flexibility or the mobility to go inside the store. But now with the store coming to them in form of online experience, you see that age group and the senior citizens age group increasing dramatically as the online shoppers. So it's good to hear that. Thanks for sharing that insight with us, Dini. To you, Khalid, none of us have a crystal ball here to stare at what the future looks like, right? What is your take on the changing customer behavior, and where do you think this shift is going to become stable or constant moving forward?
Well, that's a big question. It's a very big question, and everybody is very busy looking into that. Jashan Mal is over 100 years old retailer, and we were very strong in whatever we did. We survived 100 years plus, so we know how customers used to behave. Customer loyalty were second to none for us. We knew how customer loyalty is. So we managed to stay in a very strong approach to our customers and very close to them. Know what they think about, know what they want, know how they behave, and personal relation with their sales locations, virtual merchandising, everything you think about in the formula of the old way of doing business, we used to master. Now, with the new changes, here comes a new generation in store and offline. And online. So online, Devier talked a lot about critical issues which should come into our consideration to be able really to establish the new relation. So customer threshold for tolerance, I will use a threshold statement which Danny mentioned. That threshold for tolerance is completely different now. customer tolerance is at his fingertip. So he flip your page, he move out of your site in no time. Before, when he comes to my store, it's not easy for him to leave unless we converted him into a purchase. But now, if you don't do a completely different game to retain him on your platform, that will be an issue. So that tolerance for the customer is a critical issue in the customer behavior, which is changing significantly. Second thing would be customer knowledge and expectation. Customer knowledge, it is not the same customer we are dealing with. Customer used to come to learn more from our store, especially in when it comes to products which require some technical advice, some knowledge. So we used to educate customers in our stores. We used to add to his knowledge, and then we used to induct him into the product and close the deal. But now the customer comes to your website and he's very knowledgeable about everything. He did his homework and he expects a precise performance and the precise fulfillment and deliverables, and you need to meet all that. So that's a major, again, change in his behavior. Sustainability is, Atul did talk about sustainability in his organization, and it's a new trend which we all need to embrace into our culture, into our products, into our offering, because it is a key issue in the customer expectation, and they always talk about it, and they expect us to deliver a sustainable product. I have to say, not all customers are happy with those changes. So all generation, when we presented our new generation stores, which is more of present a more digital transformation offering into our store. So it's a combination between offline and online. Our old loyal customers were not happy because the real feel of the product is not coming into the new digital store, and that was not really well perceived by them. So we need to consider that we have different impressions from our customers. We need to retain and keep our old customers happy, not old in age, but old in loyalty, and deliver what they used to get and address the new changes in the customer behavior. Now, the last thing I will touch on, watch out list for customer change in behavior, customer reviews. Now, it is a critical issue. Before, customer reviews didn't exist. Now, you buy your new product through maybe customer reviews. You check your customer reviews, you see different experience, and you list them, and you see the rating. And all this engine didn't exist before. And the customers, they have a very strong tool in their hand dealing with you. They didn't have it before. Some customer overuse it, some customer abuse it, some customer really use it. But it is up to you to ensure that this is well positioned and this is working for your advantage, not against you. So that is a huge change in your culture to ensure that those customer reviews are highly rated and attended to. So that's a major change in your internal culture, in your responsiveness and how you address, how you talk about it. Customers don't take normal general statements anymore. They want specific, to the point, a real solution. And if it's not effective, he will come back and hit you with a strong review. So you have to be very careful with this. These are the key from our perspective, watch out list items.
Thank you, Khalid. Yes, we do. When personally for me, when I look out at a restaurant listing, and if I need to go and find a new food place that I need to go and visit, customer reviews do play an important role, right? We look at what the previous customers have said, and then we make that decision. So you're very right. It is important in the way your organization is profiled or represented in those reviews. Uh, and again, for you, it's a challenge. I mean, you have been into business for more than 5 decades, and as a traditional company making this change, it's a how do you continue? How do you continue to be present, and how do you continue to be relevant to the new generation of customers? Is going to be a very interesting journey, and we wish you all the best for that, Khalid. Khalid did speak about change management of customers. He did speak about that as they opened the new digital stores, they had reaction from their old customers about the new way and the new format. So Atul, if I were to ask you this digital transformation that we are making or that you are making and the tweaks, how are you accommodating the comfort and the convenience of your traditional customers?
So yeah, so very important question because we all heard about this retail apocalypse globally. So many retail chains going bankrupt, and I was talking to some colleagues in the industry, and I heard a very interesting perspective. Somebody mentioned to me that only three types of retailers are surviving. And I heard that the one part is the retailers were very strong in offering a strong value proposition, the likes of Primark and other players. The second was the retailers which often offer very strong design or the strong focus on product. We are all seeing the global luxury chains have actually thrived very well post pandemic. They've seen a surge. And the third part, which is related to what you asked, is the retailers which are offering comfort and convenience to their customers. So he said, if any of the retail chains is very strong in one of these three areas, then you have customers' attention, and those kind of retail chains are surviving. So. And probably this is the only time and age where we are seeing consumers moving ahead of the pace at which businesses are offering them. It's like the consumer demands or the convenience or the comfort that they're demanding is probably the demands are way ahead of the pace at which businesses are adapting to it. If I answer how we are changing and how we are offering that, they were very nicely summarized, very comprehensive list of all the things that you need to be able to do to call yourself omni. And we are on that journey pretty much the way that we are described. And let's say some traditional areas like click and collect. When we talk about click and collect, it's not just about collecting from the stores. We work to increase the number of centers. I can just take a walk in the evening around my home, and 100 meters from here I will be able to collect the shopping that I did on Splash app. So we have like hundreds of fulfillment centers, measuring the KPIs. Are we sending the right SMSs to the consumer? Are we communicating well to the consumer? When is the package reaching them? When are they collecting it? Are they having any issues in collecting it? So there's a lot of data that we are trying to capture around these areas to ensure consumer is getting that comfort, convenience, or visibility on what is happening to their packages. Endless aisle is running in our stores, where if you go in our stores and you don't find your preferred color or size, our staff will prompt you that we don't have it in the store. Can you want to shop online? You can just shop it there, and the package will reach you. Uh, we're talking about a lot of data, for personalization. We all know the global Stitch Fix model, when where they're sending some garments home to you. You trial it, and if you don't like it, you send it back, or if you like it, you keep it. So a lot of these new initiatives are coming within the world of retail to make it comforting or convenient for the consumers to shop. And a lot of these things we are piloting as well, and which is very critical today for retailers to have build a long-term sustainable brand.
Thank you, Atul, for a lot of insights there in terms of what Splash at Landmark Group is doing. this merging of online and offline retail, and looking at a complete omni-channel package. If I were to just direct the last question now to Nick. Nick, you're already an expert in this, right? So you are looking at, and that's what you are tasked with at Shalhoub. What are the tried and tested examples that you could share with us about both these online and offline spaces coming together, and how they are successful?
Thank you, Josefa. I'll keep it very short. I think it's very important to look at technology as a means to an end, and don't fall into the trap of looking into gimmicks. Obviously, with COVID right now, we see that digital store will be coming more and more to life, like a skin, in terms of beauty, a skincare analysis tool, virtual try on, whether it's in store or in the app or on the website. But when we talk to our customers, they don't really care about that. It's all about customer intimacy. And I think we need to focus on nailing the fundamentals. So indeed, what we already said in the beginning, predictive forecasting, making sure that we use technology to become better at fulfillment, that we become better at picking and packing, to shorten the time of the delivery lead times, that we become better at our forecasting, and that we are better in personalization of the website, of the app. And also then to translate that to the store. And so I heard robotics in the store. I don't believe that there's that much added value currently for robots in the store. But I think there's a hybrid form where we empower our store staff with the information. Have a facial recognition when people walk into the store, and immediately we would know that Josefa is walking in the store. We know that you like this beer product, that you like this grooming product, that you shop this, and this. So why don't we ask you to replenish or give you a proposal to do something else? And lastly, but not least, I think we will start to see a more and a bigger blend of entertainment with which. So social commerce has been talked about before. And I think that we are only at the beginning of this. So if we look at China and USA, it's very big there, live streaming and selling through live stream. I think that using store staff to empower them to go live and sell to their audience and to the wider audience will become very hot next in 5 years.
Sure. Thanks. Thank you, Nick, for those insights. I think you spoke about predictive forecasting, which is the use of the data and the data analytics now to drive the decisions that you need to make at a much faster pace. I think, I was visiting one art gallery which said that technology has outpaced the capability of the humans to keep up with it, right? So technology is really outpacing all of us. And, at Zebra Technologies, we are experiencing that as we work with retailers during this COVID times, helping them transform from traditional to omni-channel, whether it was about automating their stores for better customer experience, or helping them convert their warehouse into fulfillment centers, or helping them through supply chain optimization, inventory visibility solutions. We did realize it's a difficult task, but everybody has to depend now on the available technology. And the way the technology outpaced in the last 1 year is just amazing. I mean, the plans that we had with our customers to look at the transformation that would have taken shape 5 years from now happened and were operational in less than 6 months.
But again, a very, very insightful session. Thanks so much, Josefa, for hosting it. And thanks to all our panelists for sharing all those valuable insights from, Khalid, you mentioned that customers are becoming more and more knowledgeable and are being more educated and aware as they are evolving. And then Atul, you spoke about the categories that are evolving from home versus non-home. To Kuruvilla, you did speak about finding the mid-ground between Carrot Lane and Tanishq and using assisted commerce more than anything else. Nick, you've spoken about how you've kept or Shalhoub Group has kept people over profits with the Shalhoub Academy in training and retraining and reskilling all of your staff. And Divya, thanks so much for that breakdown of an ideal omni-channel strategy and being very brutally honest about everything you've spoken about today. Amazing session, Josefa, as always. It was great having you host our session and moderate our session today. And thank you to all the attendees who've tuned in. You can download the Retail ME app and watch the entire webinar there. We will be putting out stories, post-show reports. So every information from this webinar is going to be available to you across Images Retail ME's channels. So thanks once again for joining us and have a great day, all of you.